Okay, I just received this yesterday, Dawn of Empire by Compass Games. Uh, the game encompasses the Spanish-American Atlantic Naval War, 1898. The front of the box, quite nice. I think I've seen that picture on a couple of novels, if I remember correctly. Can't remember the author right offhand. The back of the box is pretty interesting. Gives a kind of a background of the Spanish-American War and how it started. And then it says that the object of the game for the United States players to control the sea areas around the U.S. Atlantic coast and Caribbean Sea to prevent Spanish combatants from supporting their island holdings and to destroy the naval forces of Spain. The object of the game for the Spanish players to disrupt United States sea control, retain sea control around the Spanish coastline for as long as possible, and destroy the United States forces. Both players must deploy their naval resources into the sea areas on the map to earn victory points at the end of each turn for areas under their control blockaded and for opposing units destroyed. It says the game uses a war at sea family of games and is centered on the naval aspects of the Spanish-American War in 1898 in the Atlantic Ocean. The complexity is 4 out of 10, so it sounds pretty simple. The time scale is 1 turn equals 11 days, so it's kind of short. It's strategic and yet tactical. From what I can see. The map scale is strategic areas of varied size. As you can see, there's like Yucatan Straits, there's Florida Straits, there's South Yucatan Basin. So the areas are pretty big. Number of players is 2. Suitable for solitaire, 5 out of 10, so it doesn't sound like it's necessarily a solitaire game, but if you play both sides, I assume you could probably do pretty well. Average play time is 2 to 3 hours, although I would bet that first playthrough probably like 4 or 5 hours. Recommended age is 14 plus. That's give or take, depending on the kid you're dealing with. I've got a 14-year-old that would probably love this, and she could probably start to play it when she was 10 or 12. It comes with 216 5/8-inch counters, one 22 by 34 map, and it feels like it's mounted. 2 player aids, a battle mat, a rules booklet, which we'll take a look at, and 4 dice. So let me cut this open and see what we can get. See how things come out. We'll take off the shrink. Let's see what happens. We'll take a look at the Pretty excited. I've always enjoyed the Spanish-American War time frame. It's not very covered in very much detail by anybody. So here's the dice, just black and white, 4 dice, pretty simple. Here's the rule book, and it looks like the rule book is a whole, I would say, let's see, 20 pages? 20 pages total. But we'll take a look at the rule book here in a second, or a better look at it. It looks like this is a battle mat, or a couple of them. Disabled units, initiative player line of battle. Nothing on the back, just blank, but kind of neat. Kind of breaks it down into kind of an old school sailing ship, from what I can see, line of battle, to where you're ship to ship battle. So that could be interesting. We'll take a look at that, or take a look at that along with the rules here in a minute. Here looks like player's aids, and it looks like there's abbreviated orders, different types of orders: anchor, blockade, coal, patrol, raid, sortie, and transit. And game markers are listed here. Let's see what the back has. Oh yeah, well, sequence of play. So I should have started with that. Sequence of play looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different phases to start with. It goes new forces and orders, movement phase, combat phase, area control and victory points phase, and then repairs phase. So it doesn't look overly complicated. There's those two. Here's those 5/8" counters. Oh, they're nice. Looks like 2 sheets of counters. There's looks like the Spanish fleets, and looks like damage counters at the bottom. Take a look at the back. Yeah, there's looks like there's coastal batteries, battleships, cruisers, gunboats, and there goes the water pump. Yes, we are in the basement. So that was gross. Okay, so in any case, there's the Spanish counters. Here's the U.S. counters. Looks like battleships, MO, whatever that is. I'll have to look that up. That's a new configuration to me. There's cruisers, CPs, gunboats, GBs, I would assume. CUs, cruiser, I would assume a cruiser of some type, more gunboats, coastal batteries, leaders. Was there leaders on the Spanish side? It does not. I do not see any leaders on the Spanish side, to tell you the truth. Oh, yep, there are 3 leaders, but they're just listed as. No, they do have names. Camara, Cerveza, and Monterola. So yeah, there's 3 leaders. There's 4 on the U.S. side. There's Sampson, Watson, Schley, and Howell. So that'll be interesting to look into. It looks like, here's the map. Let's take a look at the board and see what we get. This is going to be huge, but that looks like the coast of Texas. Oh yeah, this is going to be a good sized board. We'll get a kind of a look at this real quick. I'll move it across and see what we can see. So yeah, there's up in the top up here, there's a victory point track. There's a search matrix chart. Initiative players, and apparently has some advantage. There is a listing of naval units down here in the bottom. That's kind of a cool map. This pretty simple. Like they said, the war at sea kind of setup. I've not played War at Sea. I've played Victory in the Pacific, but it's been years. Let's take a look at the rulebook real fast and see what we have. So, cover is the same as the cover on the front of the box. We have an introduction, objective play, components. I kind of like this. It's a nice thick paper. Color, obviously. Components list. Sequence of play, orders. Let's move this box out of the way for now. So yeah, it looks pretty complete, and it doesn't look like it's going to be hard to read. It's a nice font. Looks like there's some nice examples in here. Even examples of play. Here, there's an example. 9 units of squadron against 14 units from an opposing squadron. So yeah, it's not a huge rule book. 20 pages, like I said. I'll have to look into the abbreviations on some of the ships. I wondered if that was in the front. Maybe I just missed it. Oh, here's the search matrix chart. That's kind of neat. Very interesting. look at the board. So it looks like a nice rule book. I'll have to sit down and read this. I plan on either playing the first time through myself alone and see what I come up with and give you a report, or if I can involve the 14-year-old and get her interested real quick, then I think we'll be in pretty good shape as far as a two-person run-through. Some of this isn't in frame. I'm really sorry. I'm looking for the abbreviations on the ships. There's abbreviations for the starting locations on the board. Mobile Bay. Don't see anything as far as the abbreviations on the ships, but I can look those up too. So, kind of interesting. I'm familiar with most NATO abbreviations for ships, but some of those CU and were not on there, or not ones I was immediately familiar with. So anyway, this looks like it could be a really interesting game. I really think that it'll be enjoyable. But I'll hopefully be able to give you a playthrough in the near future, and we'll see what we come up with. So thank you.